Hello yogis, welcome back to Yoga for Beginners with Yoga by Sophie. In this video, we will practice yoga backbend and twisting. Those are very popular topics in yoga practice. And learning techniques and good alignments will help you gain all the good benefits of these poses to your body and mind, as well as make sure that you practice them safely. You may grab some props like a thick blanket and a yoga block or a box of milk to support your poses in this video. Now, before we start, I would like to brief some important poses that we will practice today, including threading the needle, puppy, cobra and upward facing dog, and twisting pose. Now, let's start in tabletop pose. Open your knees at your hip width apart and bring your hands forward, hands under the shoulders. Now I will talk about threading the needle pose. Inhale, bring your left hand up toward the sky. And then exhale, put your left shoulder under the right shoulder. Put the left ear and cheek on the mat. You can bring your right hand forward. Inhale. And then as you exhale, suck your belly in. You can bring the right hand backward over your back, threading the needle pose. In this pose, make sure that your hips and your knees in line 90 degrees with the mat. Relax your neck by sinking or pressing the ear and your cheekbone to the mat. Gaze at your left hand. This pose will open the upper back of the left side and open the front side of the right shoulder. Now, the mistake that many yogis have in this pose is rather your hips not in line with the knees like this. Or your hip is too much forward. So we will bring the hips backward to fix and make the hips in line with the knees. And another mistake that yogis have in this pose is that you try to look up. To fix this, just relax the neck and press the left ear down to the mat. Gaze at the left hand. Press the left shoulder down. And another mistake is your hips are not in line. Now, to make your hips in line, can you bring your right hip forward and left hip backward? Threading the needle pose. To go back, put your hands down, bring the chest up, back to tabletop pose. We switch side. Bring the right hand up, inhale. Then exhale, bring the right shoulder under the left shoulder. Relax your neck. Bring the left hip backward, right hip forward to make hips square. Both hips in line with the knees. Bring the left hand forward or wrap the left hand back. To go back, hands under the shoulders. Inhale. Back to tabletops, and then exhale. Now, the second pose that I will brief is puppy pose, which is a backbend pose. We will start from tabletop, knees open at your hip width apart, hips and knees in one line 90 degrees with the mat. Now, from here, reach your palms forward. Inhale, open your heart, look forward. Then exhale, put your chest, chin down to the floor. In this puppy pose, lengthen your neck. And every time you exhale, sink your chest down to the mat. The mistake that many yogis make in this pose is your hips are not in line with your knees, looking like this, or too much forward, like this. Now, to fix this, very easy. Bring your hands back, make sure hips in line with the knees, and then drop the chest down. For beginners, you can choose other modification, like putting your forehead down to the mat and open the elbows to the side. Fingers together create a heart shape, and you press the fingers down to the floor. Stay here. Every time you exhale, put the chest down to the mat. Open your heart. Now from here, go back to tabletop pose, hands under the shoulders. The next pose I will brief is Cobra and upward facing dog. Bring your knees together, drop your chest and chin down between your palms. Roll your toes down to the mat, lift the knees up, put your navels down. Extend the toes toward the end of the mat. Hands under the shoulders, forehead to the mat. Press through your toes to lift the kneecaps up from the floor. Roll your shoulders backward. Lift the shoulders up from the floor. Hands under the shoulders. Press slightly on the palms down to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest up. Open your heart, look forward. So you press the navels down to the mat. Your navel is on the mat. Look forward, this is Cobra pose. The mistake that many of you make in this pose is that you're trying to lift your navels up. Navels up and your hips on the floor. Okay, so in Cobra, your navel is down on the mat. We just lift the chest up and roll the shoulders backward. Cobra. Now, put your forehead back down to the floor. The next pose is upward facing dog. Move your hands backward, closer to the waist. From here, press through the hands. Close the elbows inward. Inhale, lift your chest up, lengthen the elbows, open your heart forward, elbows and shoulders backward. Press through the hands, lift your hips and navel up from the mat. Look up, this is upward facing dog. So the most mistake that I notice in yogis is that your hips are dropped down and your shoulders are very close to the ears, looking like this. So to fix this, press through the hands, lengthen the elbows, okay, and try to roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Lift the hips up. Your heart is forward, so your elbows is behind your chest. Upward facing dog. Now, from here, bring your hips back to child to finish. So those are two popular backbend poses, which is Cobra and upward facing dog. In backbends, make sure that you suck your belly in so you can use the core muscle to support your spine, your lower back when you practice. And one more thing is when you do backbend,